Hey guys, Xander Holt here, the primal sex expert. And today I'm going to talk about the top reason that your free testosterone levels are probably low, even though it seems as though you're doing everything right. And if you don't know, free testosterone is the important testosterone. That's the testosterone that our body can actually use. Free and bioavailable. And I'll talk more about that in another video, the difference between total, free, and bioavailable. It's important to know that. But for this video, just keep in mind that free is what you really want, because that's what your body can use. And even guys whose testosterone levels are doing really well, I mean, you're doing great to be in the 2 to 3% range of having free testosterone. So we can't afford to lose free testosterone, even if our testosterone levels are good. So if you're watching this video, you're probably a guy that goes on the internet and searches how to boost his testosterone levels naturally, which is great. That's what I did. So you find the foods that the internet is telling you that you should eat, and you eat those foods. You are finding the exercises that the internet tells you should be doing to boost your testosterone, and you do those exercises. And it seems as though you feel like you're getting enough sleep. So it seems as though you're doing everything right. Although I got to say before I move on, you may not. Just because it's on the internet doesn't necessarily mean you got good information. But let's assume you are. I've worked with a lot of one-on-one guys, and they've gotten all those things right, but yet they're still having some low free testosterone. What is causing that? And you can find that out through a blood test, or you may just be having symptoms like low sex drive. You have very little interest in sex. You're not waking up with morning wood. Your erections are not as hard as you want them to be, or they're not lasting, or you're just not motivated. You don't feel like a man. All of those could be free testosterone. So what is it? What do I see in most of these guys? Well, if they're doing everything else right, most of the time, it's right here. Waist circumference. Okay, they've still got too much belly fat on their body. And why or moobs, man boobs, right? So why is that important? How does that affect our testosterone? Well, if you look at my beautiful drawing here, this is a belly, and the little circles are the belly fat. And belly fat produces a lot of what's called aromatase enzyme. And this is nasty stuff. What it does is it takes that precious free testosterone of ours and it converts it into estrogen, which is the primary female hormone. It's a feminizing hormone. We do need some estrogen, don't get me wrong, but we don't need that much estrogen. It just makes us more feminine. And that estrogen inhibits further testosterone production. I might make a further video to show you how that works. But it's even worse than that. The fat itself, the belly fat itself, secretes estrogen just on its own. It's like a gland almost. It secretes more estrogen, which further inhibits our testosterone. But it's even worse than that, because the estrogen itself tells the body to hold on to this fat. It makes it difficult to lose the fat that's tanking your testosterone in the first place. So it's a serious, vicious cycle. So how do we get over this? Well, I can tell you how most guys get over it, or how they try to get over it, is they diet. And those of you who know me know I am not a fan of dieting. Now you can. There's a lots of guys who go through our Rock Hard for Life formula that diet. You know, they're on the keto diet, or they're doing some other type of diet. You can certainly do that, but it's not necessary. And I could go into a lot of reasons why I don't like dieting, but first of all, because it's not necessary. If you learn how to live like a primal man, like we teach you in Rock Hard for Life formula, the fat just comes off. Dieting is just a way to deal with our modern world, or those modern alpha inhibitors. If you learn how to deal with those modern alpha inhibitors, the fat just comes off. Okay, you don't need to diet. And if you are dieting, what you're doing, like keto for instance, you are adjusting, you are changing the macronutrient content of your food, of how you're eating. You know, you have proteins, you have fats, you have carbs. Like in keto, you make it very low carb, medium protein, and lots of fat, right? But the problem with that is that, once again, you're not getting, what they found is that a more of a balanced macronutrients, a little bit less protein, but more carbs and fats are actually more ideal for testosterone production. Not that you have to worry about that either, but it makes it harder to boost your testosterone when you're messing with the macronutrient ratios, okay, which you don't need to do. And most guys who go on the diets, when they go off of the diets, they just gain the fat back, and it's worse because it's visceral fat when they gain it. So if you're not planning on staying on that diet for the rest of your life, learn how to deal with modern alpha inhibitors and just have the fat go and live your life like the man you want to. So that's it for this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to our free Facebook group, Rock Hard for Life, where you learn much more about primal sex, lasting as long as you want, and stage 4 rock hard erections. Until next time, go be a beast.